Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a special guest, my very good friend Justin. Justin, say hi, introduce yourself.
Hi Max Creates audience.
And today we are going to talk about a topic that we really bond over, which is music. And we wanted to share our top albums and songs in general that really shaped our high school experience. And they are pretty solid recommendations.
We have pretty elite music taste, I'm not gonna lie. One of the first rappers I ever really got into, because I'm a big hip hop fan, was a man named Vincent Staples from Long Beach, North Side.
From the skinny or strong.
One of my favorite projects from him was his EP, Prima Donna. I listened to it around freshman year, and it was really one of the first projects where I got like really invested in rap, and the music video for it was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. The songs Smile and Pimp Hand were... Smile is
strong. Pimp Hand's strong.
Pimp Hand's more of like what I like. It's not super relatable to me, obviously, but it's a banger. Smile was more relatable to me. It was all about, like putting on a front for like people and like being, like super insecure freshman year, it really related to me. And that's part of the reason why he's one of my favorite rappers still to this day.
Yeah, I saw him live.
Yeah. I missed out.
Yeah, I saw him live and it was so crazy. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go like the other way and say Red by Taylor Swift. I love Vince Staples, but I love pop music as well. Red by Taylor Swift, personally for me, is like the album I go to for like every single hardship in my life ever. It's like such a great emotional album and like covers so many emotions. There's like the more upbeat songs like We're Never Getting Back Together. I don't know, it's like a you. It's like a you song to your ex, but also there's All Too Well, which is like I was telling you about earlier about
Meg's a huge Taylor Swift fan, and she can go on and on. She can make this video now.
I think when I was younger, I have it in my notes, but like when I was younger, like it was one of my favorite songs, but I could never really relate to it. And like once you relate to it, okay, I don't want to relate to it, but like it's about like like a broken relationship that like has ended, but you still hurt over. So that is mine.
The next project that I listened to around like the summer of freshman year, it was like, you sent me a review by this guy named Anthony Fantano, and you were like freaking out that he had given this project a 10 out of 10, and I was like, I didn't even like understand like any of this context. We are now like huge Anthony Fantano, like both of us, like
we saw him that summer.
It's one of the most like trippy and just like I wrote one of my college essays to UVA about the track Reborn. And, track Fire always gets me fired up. Like,
you don't like Feel the Love?
Feel the Love's a banger. I'm just going off like my personal that's a good part of Feel the Love. Yeah. I'm so glad Meg sent me that review.
Yeah, I like Taylor Swift and Kanye West.
She's not like other girls.
Yeah, I think Kitsy Ghost is like my favorite album from Kanye West artistically, based on like memories and stuff like that. I kind of prefer Yeezus. It's more like aggressive. Like
It's definitely aggressive.
It's more aggressive for me, and like I really get like all my anger out. I don't know. People hate on Yeezus for being like super experimental. New Slaves, Black Skinhead.
I Am a God.
Yeah, I am a god. Hurry up with my damn massage. I think it's like hilarious, but it's also like it really embodies like the cockiness of Kanye West.
Yeezus is definitely underrated.
Yeah, it is Charlie XCX's favorite Kanye album.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Next album, or I guess like EP, is I Think You Think Too Much of Me by Eden. He has like a really good mix of like really mellow, like just plain guitar, and then like a EDM build up or like a drop. Like one of my favorite songs off of that record is called Circles. At the beginning is just like, really chill, like guitar, and then at the end you kind of get this like climactic end, and I love that song. I love that song so much. Eden writes music that is like open-ended and like really open to interpretation, but it's really raw. I sound like an indie kid. It's really raw, and like I think I was going through like a rough patch at the time, so just having like choruses like I'm a mess inside really like satiated my emo middle schooler heart. It's the kind of music that you listen to at night when you kind of like are tired of really tired, and just want to process all your thoughts.
Next for me, the Saturation trilogy. I was kind of cheating, but we're gonna count all the 3 albums that they released over the
By
summer.
Brockhampton.
By the best boy band since One Direction. Listening to Queer, Gold, Sweet, Junkie, like Zipper, all those songs, you will find lyrics scrawled all over my chemistry notes from sophomore year. Just the like catchiness of those hooks and some of those bars, especially from Jobo, who's like rapping all about like a student's perspective, which obviously relates to us a lot, and you know, like his verses on Sweet and 1998 Truman, those were like pinpoint accuracy of like what we were feeling like around that time, and still did to like this day. Going to see them live with Matt.
Yeah, it's been like a year since we saw them live.
One of my favorite memories all time. I like, got one of my favorite shirts from it. It's literally like an amazing experience. They're an amazing band. It's just been such a big part of like us growing closer together and like us just like growing like up through high school, honestly.
Next album I have is Daytona by Pusha T. Probably one of my favorite like hip hop albums. Probably like my favorite. I think I told you it was like my song of the decade. Or my album of the decade. Every single track on that album is like so solid, and the collaboration between Kanye West and Pusha T, chef's kiss. I like Santeria, probably like, oh my god, the ending, like it's like a gospel like ending. I really like that hybrid, and he's so hard hitting, but the beats are great. They're very classic. Rick Ross is great. Kanye West is obviously really great and really funny. He talks about
Pusha T is definitely one of the best lyricists like currently right now, and he has so many like quotables from the album, like from the games we play. If you know, you know. Like those are just like instant like adrenaline boost, confident boost. Like plus Kanye West production, like it can't go wrong. Next for me, a big step for me lyrically was after discovering Vince's music, I like sort of transitioned. I realized he had gotten his start from a rapper named Earl Sweatshirt, who was of Odd Future fame. And later that year, he had dropped, in my opinion, his best album, Some Rap Songs. It's a very like not like super flashy record, like at first glance they're syrup. If you can get behind some of like the rough exterior and like the kind of like, I've heard like people describe like it as like poorly mixed, and like I can't see it, but Earl's bars and his production is just something you really have to experience.
Yeah. To follow that up with, I'm going to probably have the opposite album again. The Money Store by Death Grips. Yeah, it's really showing my like affinity.
Experimental,
for like experimental and like experimental music and like really heavy music. I think it's definitely something you kind of have an acquired taste to. I think you still don't like Death Grips a ton.
I mean, I'm slowly transitioning. I started listening to jpegmafia from...
Oh yeah, jpegmafia, Veteran, also like one of my top albums out there too. Honestly, probably on equal footing to The Money Store. Like it's like a villain soundtrack, I would describe it as. That you just hate everything. But yeah, it might be a little bit much for some people. You're the first to listen.
Definitely not for the faint of heart or like...
Yeah.
Continuing the Odd Future theme, Tyler the Creator, I listened to Flower Boy and I thought it was like a legitimately like great album. I was like really impressed by it. That did not prepare me for his magnum opus, in my opinion, one of the best albums of the decade. I will take on anyone that says otherwise.
Me.
Igor by Tyler the Creator is it's one of the best breakup albums of the decade. It's everything about the production. The production is so meticulous. It's got Tyler's best lyricism, honestly. Like people like complain about it for not being like a true blue like rap album like some of his older stuff, but it's so much more than just a rap album that I think, even though it won best rap album, when you're like going through like any emotional baggage with like a significant other or anything, listening to Tyler's journey through this album of like from Earthquake to A Boy Is a Gun, Puppet, Gone Gone Thank You, and then the closer of Are We Still Friends, just I can see almost no flaw
I have Goddess by Bangs. I don't think you ever listened to Bangs, but she's like maybe like popish. I don't know how to describe her properly, but she's steered more experimental. I would honestly recommend all 3 of her albums. So she has Goddess, which was her debut, and then The Altar, and then 3. But particularly Goddess, in my opinion, is her best album, and she details a lot about like abuse, it being like a bad relationship. It's so beautiful, like the way she puts it sometimes, like, and there's so many different methods she goes about it. Like there's like this really dark begging for thread. It almost sounds like kind of gothic, but then there's also Someone New, who's just a really sad ballad, really slow ballad about, you know, watching your previous significant other find someone new. So that's it for the music that defined our high school careers and that we enjoyed. Jesus Christ, it's been like 4 years now. It's almost 4 years.
Yeah, I really can't believe it. I've really come a long way from the only album I've listened to being Demon Days.
Hopefully you guys got some recommendations. I know a lot of the picks were pretty mainstream,
Yeah,
but
they're pretty like classic picks. I'm sure
Yeah.
like, any music heads will like enjoy it. But
they'll
if
be
you're-
like, oh, these kids think that they're indie. Ew.
Alright, thank you, Meg, for giving me this chance to gush about the music that I like. I really
Justin
appreciate it.
loves.
I love
Yeah,
that.
Justin loves it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm glad to have you on here and talk about our favorite subject. And see you guys in the next video.